How's it going, guys? It is now fight week for the fight this weekend between anthonyjoshua and kubratpulev for a couple of the heavyweight titles. So it is about time I do my prediction for this fight. So in this fight, I am expecting anthonyjoshua to come out victorious. I think it's a decent fight. Kubratpulev he's no bum, he's one of the top guys in the division, although he is a bit older and he hasn't really fought the best of competition throughout his career. I'd say obviously the best guy he fought was Vladimir Klitschko, and in that fight he did get knocked out in quite spectacular fashion. But in the first round he did wobble Klitschko with a jab, but after that he got hit with some big power shots, some huge lead left hooks that put him down, a couple of big right hands, and he got knocked out in that fight off a lead left hook. So that showed a little bit of a hole in his game there. He wasn't seeming to pick up on the lead left hook when Klitschko got into his rhythm, and he would set it up with that back and forth bounce in and out, and then it'd explode with a big left hook. And because Kubratpulev, he fights with that European style where he's got his hands held out in front of him, pouring with the jab, and setting up the jab by getting the lead left hand close to you, and then nailing you with the jab. Because his hands are out in front of him, it's easy to get round the guard with that lead left hook, and I'm expecting Joshua to have looked at that tape and try and pull that off in this fight. I do think he will be able to pull that off in this fight. I saw him do it a couple times to Ruiz, where he would lead Ruiz in and hit him with a big lead left hook. I think that's going to be there for Joshua in this fight as well. But I mean, the other names that Kubratpulev's been in there with is a Chisora. He beat an old Samuel Peter as well, that was really out of shape. He fought Alexander Ustinov and Dimitrenko as well. He hasn't as well. Yeah, I mean, he just recently, or quite recently, he beat Yui Fury. That's quite a good win on his resume. He kind of big maned Yui and they bullied him around a bit. Kubratpulev, he's a good boxer with a good jab. So is Yui Fury. Yui Fury was the better mover, but Yui just he got hit with a jab in that fight that I think caused a big cut above his eye, and he kind of unraveled after that. But I think he also wobbled Pulev in that fight at one point with the right hand. So Pulev can be hurt because Yui's not the biggest of punchers. So I think Joshua will be able to hurt Pulev in this fight and finish him off. But yeah, Kubratpulev, he's a tough guy, and he's a strong guy as well. He might not be the biggest puncher. I mean, I think he's got 28 wins with only 14 of them coming by knockout. But he has good enough power to make his opponents hesitant, and they all respect his power. I mean, his jab, he can hurt you with a jab. You've seen him knock people down and out with jabs. He wobbled Klitschko with a jab. So he's a tough veteran. He's quite smart in there. He's a rough customer. He'll rough you up in there as well. On the inside, he hits you with those short right hands, but he doesn't throw too many long right hands. Now he does set it up nicely with the jab, and when he hits you with the right hand, there's decent power on it. It hasn't got that one punch knockout power, but he can hurt you with it. It can definitely hurt you. So he's quite dangerous in this fight, and I think he actually has the better jab in this fight. And Joshua has a good jab himself, but I think Kubratpulev, his jab is really his bread and butter, and I think he's kind of perfected this over his long career. So I think he has a little bit of an edge in the jab department. But what I think is going to happen is he's going to be able to be competitive with Joshua. He might even be out jabbing Joshua and kind of getting the slight better of it in the early stages when it's still when they're still feeling each other out. But I think Joshua, he's quite a good counter puncher, and I think with Kubratpulev using his jab so much, I think, and it's quite, Pulev's attack is quite predictable. It always seems to start with the jab. I think Joshua will be able to figure that out and counter Kubrat Pulev's jab. Joshua has got quite a good counter right hand, and I think he might be able to use that in this fight as well as the lead left hook that we spoke about. But so I think it's going to be cagey at first. It's not going to be a barn burner. Neither of these guys are reckless fighters. They're both intelligent boxers. Joshua's, a boxer puncher. So is Kubrat Pulev. Although Pulev's resume doesn't really suggest he's a puncher, he has got some power. But I'm expecting it to be, a high-level chess match. Battle of the two jabs. Like I say, I think Kubrat might have the edge in the jab. I think he might be winning maybe the first 2 or 3 rounds, being very competitive. And then Joshua is maybe going to be able to catch him with a hard counter right hand over the jab, or a lead left hook, from a distance, springing in with the lead left hook and, putting Pulev down. So I think in this fight, I'm expecting Joshua to win by knockout in the mid rounds. I don't think it's going to go too late. I also don't think it's going to be an early knockout, because Kubrat Pulev is an intelligent fighter, so I don't think he's going to get caught with anything too early. Very crafty veteran, so I'm expecting Joshua to catch him with something powerful in the mid rounds and finish Pulev off. I think Joshua wins by a stoppage in this fight, and hopefully then we get the Joshua vs Fury fight mid next year. That's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, guys, that's how I see the fight playing out. I see Joshua winning by a KO in the mid rounds. Let me know if you guys agree, or if you guys disagree. Let me know in the comments, guys. Thanks for listening to the video. Yeah, so I'm expecting the fight to mostly be fought from a distance. Like I said, quite a chess match between two intelligent big men, battling it out with the jab. That's how I see it going. I see Joshua catching him with something in the mid rounds and being able to finish him off. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you guys soon. Cheers.